Today I'll be presenting Rosie the Riveter. So Rosie the Riveter was a piece of World War II propaganda that was aimed at recruiting women to join the munitions industries and shipyard industries. So to provide a bit of context on the piece of propaganda. So this piece of propaganda was originally used in World War II as a way to recruit women to join the munitions and shipyard industries. During this time, men were being shipped out by the thousands to fight in the Pacific and European fronts in the war. And so the amount of male employees in these industries started skyrocketing down, and businesses, they needed ways in order to sustain themselves. And then Rosie the Riveter was born, and she was aimed to recruit these women which joined these industries and replaced the men. So now to analyze the propaganda. So the first thing that's going to stand out here is Rosie as well as her three colors: blue, red, and white. These three colors, they symbolize the American flag, which is blue, white, and red. And this is very important, as those are the colors of freedom and patriotism. And this is important as this shows that women can be patriotic and support freedom by working in these industries. Okay. So now, as we can see, her blue jacket is most likely a denim jacket, signifying that she's working in a physically intense environment, possibly a munitions industry, farm, or a shipyard industry business. As here we can see that her head wrap, it covers her long hair. And this is possibly a characteristic to show how she's trying to resemble men. And this is important as this shows that women are replacing the men in these industries. But to not give away any hints that she is in fact male, we can see here we have little bits of long hair sticking out, as well as defined eyelashes, dark noticeable eyebrows, and lipstick. All things normally associated with women. And this is important as it shows that women are taking on the roles of these men by having their short hair as well as their sturdy jackets. But women are working in these environments rather than men, as most men have already been shipped to fight on the front. Okay, so the next thing we'll notice here is the facial expression, as well as her entire posture. So from the facial expression, we'll notice that she's very serious. She's not smiling, she's not frowning. And this is important as this tells women that Rosie is serious about women joining these industries, and it's not to be taken lightly or as a gesture or joke. And also, we can see that she's holding eye contact with us, and this is important as this boosts confidence. It wouldn't have the same effect if Rosie was looking to the right or to the left. Since this boosts confidence, any woman that sees this will have a boost in overall adrenaline as well as confidence, as this will show that women, they can replace men in these harsh working environments. And on to the final bit of her posture. As we can see here, she's unrolling her blue denim jacket, clenching her fist, and most likely flexing. Even though we can't see any defined muscle value there, it's still a very important mental trick for women, as it shows that women, they don't need the physical strength men do in order to do the same hard work they do. And this is important as this also shows that women can be just as strong as men, even though they don't look like it. And now we're going off to the background, and I'll be discussing that in three different ways. I'll be discussing it by definition, color wheel, and from an artist's point of view. So by definition, yellow is a color that signifies happiness, enlightenment, and just a better future. And in this advertisement, a better future is probably what they were going for. And I say this because, as we can see, Rosie is pinned in front of that, meaning that women are the future. And if they join these munitions and shipyard industries and support the war front, they can help secure a better future. Now, from a color wheel perspective, as we can see here, this yellow is not a pure yellow. It has a bit of an orangish hue to it. And this is important as orange is opposite of blue on the color wheel, which means that they're complementary colors, which means that they stand off one another. So, and this is important because this allows Rosie, as well as her blue denim jacket, to stand off the yellow. And that is the first thing that our eyes go towards. Okay. And now from a artist perspective, the color yellow is a color that artists, they like to classify it as a color of warmth, enlightenment, and it's a color that's supposed to be the light, and it's supposed to take away the darkness from the soul. And this is important, as I'll be talking about how this yellow takes away the darkness from the soul. So metaphorically, the light can be Rosie and her fellow women, and the darkness can be the Axis forces. So it can be implied that Rosie, as well as other women, they're taking away and they're defeating the darkness, which are the Axis forces, from the world. And now moving on to the speech bubble. Now the speech bubble reads, "We can do it." And I'll be breaking that up into 3 components: the we, the do it, and the exclamation point. So the word we is a first person plural pronoun, and this is important, as when Rosie says we, not only is she incorporating herself, she's also incorporating other women into this equation. And same goes if a woman saw this ad and she read the word we. She's automatically gonna refer to herself as well as other women to join these munitions and shipyard industries. And this is important, as this shows that women as a whole are very powerful, and they can change the tide of war in their own way. Now moving on to the word do it. Now that's very important because it's a very broad term. It doesn't answer the question what they can do. It just says do it. And that is important as it tells women, and it also gives the impression, it's going to tell them that it's up to interpretation, and it's interpretation, and it's going to let the woman decide for herself what she can do. So one woman, she might read the phrase "we can do it," and she might think to herself, what can I do? Oh, I know. I'll work in the munitions industry. Another woman might interpret it differently. She might read it and think to herself, what can I do? Oh, I know. I'll work in the shipyard industries, and I'll engineer and build frigates, destroyers, patrol boats, missile boats, mine layers, etc. And now the very last bit of the phrase is the exclamation point. The exclamation point is very important here too, because it gives the entire phrase a very serious tone, as well as a lot of power to the phrase. And it's a phrase that's not supposed to be taken lightly, and it's a phrase that's supposed to be said with confidence. And the entire phrase as a whole is just an entire morale booster for women. So any woman that reads this is automatically going to have their morale boosted, and she will most likely join the munitions and shipyard industries as intended by the advertisement. And that's my analysis of Rosie the Riveter. Thanks for watching.